Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 14, verses 12 through 26. Jesus is gathering with his disciples, as the rabbi he is, for the Passover meal. Jesus has been intent on being in Jerusalem for the Passover because he is fulfilling the Passover, which is back in the book of Exodus, which I would recommend you go read, chapter 12. But it's all about how God took the people from slavery to make them his people. And he did that by having the blood of the lambs cover them over, right? And now Jesus is going to be that Passover lamb, that Paschal lamb, that his blood covers over our sin to free us from our slavery to sin. Now, he says that they're to find a guy who's carrying a jar of water and follow him to the house and then tell the owner of the house, the master is ready. Now, I don't believe that this is some sort of mind-reading trick that Jesus is doing. There's no indication of that in the text itself. It doesn't say that. More likely, Jesus knew this guy, knew he had a servant, and that he made his servant go get water when that's not the task of even male slaves. It was something that women did. So it would have been easy to find this one guy. So that's why it's there. It may be an instance of how Jesus was just listening to people and was connected with them. So then they get there and he says, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." And all of them say, "Not I." And Jesus says, it's one of you, woe to the one to whom it will go, who's going to do this. And I always think about how, remember, Judas is one of the 12 that Jesus himself called. There were lots of other people, but for God's purpose, for God's reason, Judas was chosen as one of the 12. And we like to pile on Judas, but the truth is, we all could be him. I think one of the most powerful words in the liturgy when we have communion is that when we begin the words of institution, we say, "In the night in which he was betrayed." It just staggers me when we say that. I pause often when I say those words, because in the night that everyone betrayed him, Jesus still went ahead and had a party for them. In the night in which they all betrayed him, Jesus gave them the sacrament of his body and blood in the bread and the wine so that they would have forgiveness, not as a symbol, but he gave himself to them, literally. And so we would all like to think that we would not betray Jesus. But we don't like to think that we would deny him. But we ourselves betray Jesus so many times, so many ways. I know I do. And I give thanks that I receive the bread and the wine, the body and blood of Christ, so that I can be part of that new kingdom that Jesus Christ has established for all of us who have been called by faith, just like Judas was called. Didn't deserve it. Neither do you or I. But we are. Thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.